and welcome to another edition of Lunchtime Live. My name is Jacob Justus, and I'll be your host over the next hour. Today and every Thursday, we will be bringing you the best musical acts from the Inland Empire and surrounding areas. Prepare to go into the lunch hour feeling recharged. Crank up your speakers and get ready to hear the stellar music and riveting edge-of-your-seat dialogue with your favorite local bands and undiscovered artists. All here on Coyote Radio.
All right, and welcome to yet another edition of Lunchtime Live, coming to you from the campus of Cal State San Bernardino. For the next hour, you are going to hear some phenomenal music and words from one of San Bernardino, Riverside, or San Diego County's greatest local bands. Today, we are joined in studio by the band On Being Human from Murrieta. So now, without further ado, here is your host for Lunchtime Live, Jacob Justus.
All right, thanks, Lacey. And we are again back with On Being Human out of Murrieta. Would you guys mind once again introducing yourselves?
Yeah, I'm Greg Johnson. I play guitar and synthesizers.
I'm Travis Baker. I'm the singer, and I play guitars and anything else.
I'm Greg Lasundak, and I play guitars and synthesizers also.
So, On Being Human, you guys are, you've got to be one of the cooler bands I think we've had in here in a while. You guys have a really cool story, and your music is good. That's why you're here. You're sitting with us. Does everyone in the band live in Murrieta, California?
Most of us do, except for the other Greg.
The other Greg.
Yeah, I live in Upland.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah. And let's give a shout-out to those band members who are not here with us today.
Bo Tremblay, he's a bass guitarist. He's not here right now.
Okay, well, Bo, hope you're doing well wherever you are. We'll take it from here, carry the torch for you. So it's got to be, kind of a long drive. I appreciate you guys coming in from Murrieta this morning. I know it was mayhem on the streets coming in. We've got power out and trees down, and I don't know. Where's Superman when you need him, right, to come in and clean
Thanks
up
for having us.
Yeah, not a problem. Not a problem. On Being Human, it's a pretty unique name. And I sat and I was thinking about it. Do you feel that your music is reflective of the human condition? All of us being stuck on this rock here together, orbiting around the sun?
Well, actually, the name came from a poem by an author named C.S. Lewis called On Being Human, sort of like about the correlation between God and man and how, I don't know, like heavenly beings sort of look at humanity, are in like an awe of them, I suppose. But yeah, I guess it could be viewed that way as well.
What makes your guys' music stand out amongst other rock or alternative bands that are out there today?
You want to take this one, Greg?
Yeah, I think we use a lot of synthesizers, and we all kind of work as composers as well. So we kind of bring that into our music a little bit, and it ends up being a little bit more like maybe over the top or cinematic, I guess.
Theatrical.
Yeah, the way just the sounds that we use in conjunction with like a rock band.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you guys have a very diverse sound, and bill yourselves as being an adventure rock band. Can you explain to us what that means?
Basically, we like to take songs kind of like within like a sci-fi realm, or we'll talk about pirates or whatever random stupid stuff.
Right.
Take a lot of inspiration from like Ray Bradbury and just different science fiction novels, Twilight Zone, the show, and we sort of find a way of making that happen. So basically, the songs try to tell a story. We try to make the music sort of like give a feeling and take you on a little bit of an adventure, I suppose.
For sure. Well, we're going to jump right into it and hear a track now. This first track is called Addicted by On Being Human. You're listening to Coyote Radio. Definitely. So now we got a little bit of a feel for what you guys do, and it's adventure rock. I get it. I get it now. The song itself, Addicted. Can you tell us a bit about the meaning and the context of that song?
Actually, to be entirely honest, the chorus wasn't written by me originally. Greg goes and he writes songs for bands and stuff like this, or helps people out with things. And there's a guy who originally wrote the lyrics. He's a lead singer of a band called I Am Cassettes, good friends of ours. His name's Josh, and he sort of wrote the chorus of that one and the first verse, and I kind of just ran with it. So basically, it's just kind of, I suppose he's just sort of talking about how, he likes this girl or something, and can't live with her, can't live without her is the way I took it.
Yeah.
It's always the case with
So.
women.
Always.
Except for Lacey, of course. We love her.
Thanks, guys.
How long have you guys been, as a band, how long have you guys been playing in total? I know you've had a few changes perhaps and stuff like that in band members, but how long have you guys been doing this thing?
Oh, well, I mean, I started the whole thing originally as a punk band, like way back in 2000, and just progressed and progressed. New band members changed names and everything. We eventually became On Being Human around 2004. Greg joined the band in 2006?
2008, actually.
8? Okay, my time doesn't, it's
okay.
We live outside of time here, and
Right.
no, yeah. So basically,
7 years.
yes, yeah, good
As
amount
On
of time.
Being Human.
Previously, Travis, you were kind of teasing the stuff about Ray Bradbury, and when I looked you guys up, I read a little bit more about the band. Not only are you guys influenced by Ray Bradbury, you quote George Orwell and The Twilight Zone, which you mentioned, which I think is super cool. I'm into the old, grainy, black and white,
Absolutely.
Stuff. It's for me. But how is this reflected in your music and in your lyrics?
Well, usually, like I'll go and we'll be writing a song or whatever. Greg will come up with an idea, or whoever comes with an idea, and I sort of go like, I like the way this song gives a feeling of whatever, and I go and would try to think of a story or some sort of whatever to write about. Like particularly like with Twilight Zone, for example, Greg wrote the song we ended up calling Series 14, and it's basically based off an episode of Twilight Zone called The Lonely, where this guy goes up, you might remember it, where he's living on an asteroid like a solitary, like that's the way it kind of goes there.
It was a prison.
Yeah, prison,
Yeah.
And they go and a guy brings him a woman, robot, and he eventually falls in love with this woman and forgets that she's not
she's
real.
not human.
So basically that song was sort of from that. And then Ray Bradbury, we have a song called Lost Signal, which is based off of a short story in The Illustrated Man called Kaleidoscope, where these men are inside a spaceship, blows up, and they're all flying away from each other and are talking to each other through their radios, and just until they all lose signal. So
Cool.
little things like that, just, kind of. Plus, this way, no one can make fun of lyric writing, because you're like, hey, man, I'm writing about Twilight Zone. Leave me alone.
Let me ask you guys about this international travel. I understand you took a little time, traveled, I think it was to Germany, and did some recording over there. Can you tell us a little bit about that experience?
Yeah, in October 2008, I had just joined the band, actually. And
Like
Right on for
2
that
weeks
guy, right?
before, I believe.
yeah, we had a management team and financiers and stuff, and they had owned a studio out in Hamburg, Germany, like a really, really nice studio. So they flew us out there, and we worked with this producer we were out there for 7 months, and we were just honing our skills and our craft and stuff, and we were recording in this crazy studio. Like One Republic was there right before we were there, and then we got to meet all these crazy German musicians and stuff like that.
Some death metal bands.
Yeah, exactly.
Met a few death metal bands for sure.
And being in Hamburg, did you try the hamburgers?
They're
That's
the
a joke.
same.
Yeah,
They're the same.
They have McDonald's right next to the studio. No,
Darn it. Well, I think that it also stands to mention that you guys you put out some music that has been put onto a few video games for the Wii, the iPad and iPhone, some independent films and TV commercials. How have you guys been able to gain that level of recognition and prominence? Who's the front man?
I'll let Greg take this one.
Actually, before I even started in the band, I was working as a composer for a video game company, and so we started. I started writing music for video games, and I did a Wii game that went international, and it wasn't very good. But I won't mention the name now.
But the music's good. The music's good. That's all I need.
Yeah, but then from that, we started getting other work. I even worked on the Soul Surfer movie. I worked on the original documentary.
For sure.
And then we got this opportunity about a year ago to work on an international film called The Package Volume 1 out of Qatar in the Middle East. And the whole band, we worked together on it. and we scored it full orchestral, and we actually wrote "Addicted" for the soundtrack. It kind of went along. The video is going to have footage from the movie, a second cut of it.
Very cool. So we'll be looking for that sometime in the future?
Beginning of next year, the second cut of the video, and it also will be out in Qatar if you ever come out there.
For sure. Okay, well, we're going to hear another track now. This one is called White Gems in the Sky. Once again, this is Coyote Radio. Sweet. So while we were listening to that, and our audience was listening to that, we were kind of conjecturing about the track perhaps being in German. Did you guys record it? Or did it have a?
No, sorry. We recorded that song in Germany a slightly different way. We kind of built it out differently when we came back in the States. So I don't know.
Yeah, there's two different versions of it.
Yeah, they're out there somewhere. We can't really disclose information about it, but it's out there.
Well, we were teasing before, and I kind of want to jump back on that horse, the filmmaking process and that sort of thing. Can you tell us a little bit more about your involvement and role, especially you, Greg? You seem to have the input there related to.
Yeah, all of us write, but like right now we are working on a film called two films right now. We're doing one called Lockdown, which is out of Qatar again. Which is like a zombie, vampire
something, and it's really unique. Yeah.
So this is a Middle Eastern film about zombies and vampires. This is cool.
Yeah, in prison.
In prison.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
And then the second movie we're doing is an American film, a horror film called Kill Cam, and it has a lot of the same crew that worked on the movie Insidious.
Aside from the Twilight Zone, the Bradbury, and that kind of thing, I also noted that you guys listed amongst your influences some big screen musical composers. How do you guys venture into the songwriting process, and how has that level of composition come together for you?
Let me take this?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're all inspired by obviously everybody to some extent, or everybody owns a Danny Elfman soundtrack somewhere. I don't know. Everyone has it on their iPod, at least one song by him. Hans Zimmer, Michael Giacchino, and Thomas Newman.
For those of us who aren't buffs in that right, help us out. What are some of the movies that they might have composed?
Oh, well, Hans Zimmer did stuff like Inception, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Danny Elfman did Edward Scissorhands, Nightmare Before Christmas. Thomas Newman did Meet Joe Black, Green Mile. And Michael Giacchino did The Incredibles or the new Star Trek film.
Nice, very different.
Lost.
Adventure rock.
Yeah, exactly.
It's working out.
So we go and we kind of try to pull from that sometimes, or even, for example, with with Kill Cam film, we sort of had a theme in the film that we sort of wrote, and from that we would take it and put it into our music. So it sort of blends in with the film, like it's attached to it. And again, we just like to make our music sort of tell a story. So, what better way to do that than to,
film score?
Yeah, film score tells it ultimately.
They're very
that's what it's about.
Specific to the the scene, the emotion, the feeling. So we just try to do the same thing, but like in kind of a rock setting. So.
Okay, well, very good. We'll take a quick break, and hopefully we'll be able to keep the power on here with that added advertising, and we'll be back with more from On Being Human.
Listening to Lunchtime Live from the campus of Cal State San Bernardino. Our in-studio guests today are the band On Being Human. And don't forget that this edition of Lunchtime Live is being brought to you by the Underground Music Society, where the focus is on creativity, innovation, positivity, and excellence. The Underground Music Society, positively uniting culture through music. Here again is your host for Lunchtime Live, Jacob Justus.
All right, and here we are with On Being Human. We were talking a little bit before the break about some of your contributions, let's say, to the music community and the big screen community, I guess we could say. And so I think that's very cool. I think that there are very few bands in the area that are doing those sorts of things that have that sort of that international level of exposure. And so I'm pleased, to have you guys and to be able to have you guys share your experience with everyone so that they can try to, muster up the courage to go out and seek out those same things for themselves. And speaking of which, do you guys have sort of a target audience, or do you just sort of enjoy performing?
Well, we enjoy performing, but I don't know, anyone who's willing to listen, I suppose.
When you kind of think about any alternative rock band, you think, late teens, early 20s kind of thing. But ends up we have kind of a little bit of an older audience sometimes, especially anyone who listens to old prog bands. For some reason, they kind of connect with us.
For some reason.
I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't either. They'll compare us to Yes or Genesis, and I'm like, oh. Thank you. No, thank you. Don't say that.
We're not a prog band.
Well, Genesis, last time I checked, was a multi-platinum band, so maybe it's
no, I'm not saying that. I like them. Yes. I really like them all. But the thing is just, they hold them so highly, and I don't want to. Right. Don't do that to us.
What kind of stage presence do you guys have? You don't strike me as being the sort of stand around kind of band. Do you like to?
It kind of depends on what we're doing. We have certain shows wwe do we do this thing called the visual experience, where we'll have video playing with us. We've actually played shows where we have a screen in front of the band with televisions hooked up to the sides, where people could sort of see what's going on behind the screen, where we're rocking out and there's lights and everything. But the video we'll make goes along with the music. You'll get you're flying through space at one section, or you'll see some Twilight Zone clips or random stuff. It just kind of to give almost like their music is the background to what you're seeing. So they call it the visual experience. We've done it in a few places. One place in particular is a place called The Vault in Temecula. They really helped us out in that arena. So, yeah.
Well, very cool. No, I'm totally for that. I mean, if anyone who's ever been to a Tool or a Perfect Circle show, or even bands like Dave Matthews these days, they have this full-on visual experience, and
Absolutely.
I think it definitely adds a lot, especially if you're like me. I have an appreciation for lawn seats, where you can
exactly
where you can spread out and do your thing. So I think that
pay about $140 less.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah, I'm a big fan too.
Exactly. So no, I think it's very cool that you guys are doing that. It's interesting. I'm going to definitely you'll have to show me next time you guys are playing. See if I can come out and check some of that stuff out. That'd be
absolutely. Cool. We even have video game clips going up there, rocking out while Mario's taking out Bowser.
Right.
Yeah, we kind of aim for that audience a little bit too.
Video game audience.
Video games, yeah.
Gamer audience.
Nice.
He talks, ladies and gentlemen. Greg Lasondek talks.
Here we go. We're trying to get him
appeal to the gamer audience,
Yeah.
Or anybody from 90s, 90s rockers.
Yeah, 80s people.
/gamers.
People can relate, just kind of.
Guys just like
we're
us.
nerdy. We're nerdy. We are nerdy, but I don't know.
Gaming's
I'm
not
a
always
classic.
nerdy.
Hey, dude, the average gamer is in their 40s. They did a study. 43, I believe, is the age. It's nuts.
It's incredible.
I know.
All single, all of these guys.
I'm not talking about the relationship status, but
right. Yeah, my
No,
girlfriend,
good.
she was just like, my Xbox has been in the closet for years now. It doesn't even get action anymore.
Sorry, man.
I know. It's such a letdown. When you guys you're touring or you're playing, do you have acts that you typically like to play with? Do you try to line up or see if there are similar lineups that'll be playing with you, or do you do solo stuff?
A lot of times we play with this band called I'm Cassettes, which is a band that I produced out of Ontario. And they're kind of like our brother band a little bit. So, we play with them a lot. And then we also, The Material from San Diego, Beta State from San Francisco. These are all bands that, we kind of connected with on a personal level. So far left out of Orange County. So we like playing with those guys.
Cool. What are some of your favorite venues to have played at?
The Vault in Temecula's.
They kind of just helped us out all the time.
It's like our hometown venue, so it's always cool to go back there. But we played in Bakersfield last time at a mall. That was kind of
that was cool actually.
It was kind of strange, but kind of cool.
A mall show, that's very cool.
Yeah, it was weird. It's for some Just Dance 2 something.
the video game.
The video game, yeah. So they had us play in the mall and do like a whole advertisement campaign for it. It's kind of neat.
It's cool. Teenage girls falling all over themselves.
Oh, yeah.
That kind of thing.
Absolutely, yeah.
I don't even know what the mall is these days. I try not to go. It's just it's crazy. Well, we're gonna hear one more song from On Being Human. This song is called Unforgiving Sea. Stay tuned to Coyote Radio.
I was fading to the dark of the unknown, encased in shadow.
So we have christened the world with Unforgiving Sea. We've now let it out of the bag. This was the debut, as I understand it, Greg.
Yeah, we wrote that song for Kill Cam, the movie, and we did a music video, but we had never released it online yet, kind of waiting for the music video, so that's the only time you can hear it for the
till
the music video comes out.
So you go to YouTube and
Right.
watch it.
Yeah.
Because I scoured the internet for it, trying to find more information, literally before you got here. Couldn't find it. Now I know why.
Yeah.
There was another similar title that you guys had, something Lost at Sea or something in the Sea. I can't remember what it was.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, no, I actually have no idea.
We'll look at it later and try
In the
to
midst.
square it down.
Maybe Queen of the Sea?
Queen of the Sea.
Queen of the
Oh,
Sea.
yeah.
That's our
Inside.
pirate epic. It's like, 8 minutes long or something like that?
Something like that.
Just
Nice.
tells a story about pirates.
One question that I typically try to get in, and it's become a little routine, I guess, at this point, but I always ask bands, have you done any kind of charitable work or community work and stuff like that?
Yeah. Well, go ahead.
We do a lot for Invisible Children.
Oh, sure.
So we play. They always constantly have shows. We play in Temecula or Long Beach or whatever for fundraisers. And then I think off the original On Being Human EP, there was a donation, $1 from all
Each album. Or
each
something.
album.
Well, they're EP, so $5 EP things.
Yeah,
to
$1 went to Invisible Children.
Would you guys like to tell our audience what they're all about and who they support overseas and everything, or should I?
Well, I mean, if you want to say it, I can go, whatever. You can fill in for me, whatever you want to do. Basically, for those that don't know, there's a whole war going on with the LRA, and they're sort of using children to fight, desensitize and to fight these wars with people, and really it's just about getting the children out of that sort of environment to a safer environment to where they could learn, go into school, and just not be fighting, which they shouldn't be doing.
Yeah, Invisible Children is the name of the documentary that anyone can go online and check out. And then also, I think President Obama finally started to sent troops over to northern
Help
Uganda
fight,
and southern Sudan to help dismantle the LRA, which is awesome.
Yeah, there's another group. I cannot remember now. I want to say it's in Tibet. That's what I was actually reminded of. And I think the book was written, or it was given a similar name, and similar story. These children that are being exploited and stuff like that. And so I think it's anytime you can bring awareness to that kind of thing, I think that's a good thing. So high five to you guys. High five. And anyone else who's interested, like I said, definitely check that out, and get involved, get interested. What's going on in the world around you? Put the Big Mac down, turn the TV off.
Exactly.
Anyway, that's my cultural thought for the day. But hope my mom's not listening. Not that she's into Big Macs or anything, but she would be disappointed, I think, otherwise. Let's talk a little bit about where people can go online to hear more about your music, find out more about the band.
Of course, we got Facebook. Pretty much Facebook. Everybody has it. Facebook.com/onbeinghuman. YouTube.com/onbeinghuman. MySpace, whatever that is.
Right.
.com/onbeinghuman.
SoundCloud.
Yeah, really.
SoundCloud.
All the places, yeah.
Anything /On Being Human. That's all you need.
What are your future recording plans or collaborations? You got anything in the works we should know about?
Well, right now we're working on an EP, and then we are working on a... Should I say the video game thing?
Yeah.
For anybody familiar with the video game Super Metroid, we're pretty much going to go through the entire soundtrack and record it and sort of put our own, arrangement of it.
Cool.
And
I love that they're bringing that back.
And also, we're going to do a TV show soon. So
Awesome.
that's like in the works right now.
Stellar. Well, we'll definitely be looking out for that. I want to thank you guys for coming in and braving the traffic and the elements to get here today.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. And everyone out there, I hope you've enjoyed the show. Get back with us next time.
You've been listening to yet another edition of Lunchtime Live, coming to you from Cal State San Bernardino. Today we are pleased to be joined in studio by the band On Being Human from Murrieta. Upcoming artists that you should be listening and watching for on Lunchtime Live include Kara Aubrey from Palm Desert. Remember to support the musical artists of your neighborhood. And in the meantime, for the Academic Computing and Media Department at Cal State San Bernardino, as well as the entire staff of Coyote Radio, I'm Lacey Kendall. You have a great week.